In 1939, archaeologists unearthed a sculpture carved from mammoth ivory. We call it the Lion Man. What makes it striking is the physical cost of its creation. Replicating this piece with Ice Age tools takes an estimated 400 hours. 40,000 years ago, Europe was in the grip of a severe glaciation. Survival meant constant movement, hunting and foraging in freezing temperatures. Spending weeks chipping away at a piece of tusk offered absolutely zero physical utility. So why do it? To answer that, we have to look past the way modern institutions categorize and box ancient history. We view 40,000-year-old objects through a Western lens, often dismissing early human creations as literal, crude, or even prehistoric pornography. Scientific data from the last few decades suggests these artifacts were actually sophisticated psychological tools. By deconstructing 3 modern biases, we find ancient art was a mechanism designed for survival. Take the female figurines discovered across Europe, dating back around 25,000 years. Because early archaeologists named them after Venus, the Roman goddess of love, modern audiences assumed these statues, with their exaggerated physical features, represented idealized beauty or primitive erotica. A study by anthropologists Allen and Barnaby Dixon tested that assumption, using eye-tracking data. They measured how modern men perceived these statues and recorded the figurines' waist-to-hip ratio, or WHR. Modern aesthetics generally favor a waist-to-hip ratio between 0.6 and 0.8, correlating with reproductive fitness. But Paleolithic figurines tell a different story. Most have a WHR over 1.0, depicting a heavily obese, mature body. During the harsh glacial periods of the European Paleolithic, finding enough calories to survive the winter was a constant struggle. In that environment, starvation was the norm. Reaching middle age, or surviving multiple pregnancies to the point of obesity, was incredibly rare. In a freezing, hungry world, the image of a corpulent, middle-aged woman represented extreme success. These were symbols of hope, abundance, and longevity, revering the women who successfully navigated the struggle to survive and reproduce. We apply a different bias to cave paintings. Detailed profiles of bison, horses, and deer are often labeled as prehistoric grocery lists, literal records of the landscape. Yet the Hall of Bulls contains no trees, no rivers, and no ground lines. The animals float and overlap in empty space, completely divorced from any real-world geography or vegetation. These paintings are rarely found near cave entrances where people actually lived. They are hidden deep inside pitch-black subterranean chambers. Reaching them required navigating dangerous, narrow passages with nothing but a flickering torch. These isolated chambers functioned as specialized social hubs. Groups gathered in the dark to perform rites, seeking aid from the invisible powers they believed governed the hunt. The deepest cave networks hold the rarest artifacts, mixed human-animal figures. This drawing from Lascaux shows a human body topped with the distinct head of a bird. Our modern culture draws a strict line between human society and wild nature. This leads us to conclude that we are looking at a literal drawing of a hunter wearing an animal mask or a bird headdress. Anthropologists who study ancient hunter-gatherer traditions suggest a different framework. It relies on a concept called perspectivism. Perspectivism assumes there is no boundary between humans and animals. Every living thing shares the same internal spirit, and physical bodies are merely interchangeable envelopes that the spirit wears. These hybrid figures document a complex cosmological framework, a belief that the universe is a fluid, interconnected whole where a person can pass between the human and animal domains. Ice Age artists spent thousands of hours observing, conceptualizing, and abstracting their reality. In a world governed by ice and predators, art functioned as a psychological anchor. It allowed early humans to manifest hope, bind their communities together through shared rituals, and negotiate with a terrifying cosmos. Dropping our modern biases regarding beauty and scientific division reveals these artifacts as symbols of endurance and spiritual interconnectedness. These are the very first footprints of the modern mind. They show the first instance of humans using imagination to transcend the limits of physical reality. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments, 10,000 years from now, what do you think future civilizations will misunderstand about the art we create today?